Hi everyone and welcome to CG Buildup, and where today we'll be finalizing the motion along spline tutorial series, whereby the first one we made the pathway, the second we added the chains, and this one is going to be quite short. It's going to just be adding the wheels, all the spline, all the rings, which we can say that is controlling these chains moving, so that is sort of mimic that control. um you can call it whatever, wheels or rings. And I think if you're enjoying this series tutorials, please feel free to like, subscribe if you're new, comment your thoughts, and uh, tell me what you wish to see in the future that you think I could check it out and maybe see if I could help out when it comes to geometry nodes. So how are we going to add the rings? So first of all, this is the most important thing to consider. My rings that I made here, which I shared the blend file with, actually made of, has this ring here which I named it. If I just hide the others, this one here, if you check the dimension, it's a cycle. You check the dimension, it's 2 meter by 2 meter, especially the x and y, the important dimensions. It's 2 meter by 2 meter, meaning that it has a diameter of, a radius of 1, which is going to be very important when making these wheels right now. So I'm going to also hide this, collapse this there. So let me just reduce the spreadsheet window. So what I'm going to do now, click this one here. And remember this part when we added the cycles at first, the very first moment here, okay, like this one here. We're actually going to do the same, but this time we're not going to use the mesh cycles. Okay, I'm just going to move it there up, and in this item place, in the place of the rings, I'm going to move it, add in an object info node, and connect this geometry node to the instance and see how it looks like. And there we go. And I would prefer to look it from the end view, whereby I'll move it to somewhere here. Maybe add in a reroute somewhere there. I don't prefer to connect it directly there, but I prefer it to be connected to another one. And Control X on that. Now if I press play, we can see the chains are moving, but not the wheels. So what we're going to do is simply rotate these wheels. And I'm going to add in a rotate instances. And here we go. Add in one. And there we go. Now, how much angle are we going to be turning? And it's going to be along this Z here. Which are going to be turning. Well, so it's supposed to be depending on the speed of these chains. Now, I want to remind some of you who have ever heard of this before. The velocity, or we can just say speed, for some people to understand, is equals to, if you ever heard of this before, called angular velocity times radius. And this angular velocity, let the name not scare anyone. It's simply the number, the angle. Okay, this is going to be the sign of the angle turned per second. You know, this, how much are we going to turn this angle here along this Z per second? Okay, which is going to be velocity. Okay, if you divide this with the radius, this velocity is just speed. Let's just call it speed. Okay, which we already have it here. And the radius in our case is always going to be equal to 1. Okay, this cycle's initial is going to be equal to 1. The only thing that is going to change is the scale of this empty here, which we started with originally. So what we are going to actually do is take the velocity. Okay, so I'm just going to add in a math node. and in this we're going to change it to divide. Here we're going to connect in this speed parameter. Okay, this speed parameter from the group input, we're going to divide by the scale. Okay, and that scale is coming from here, that remember we captured before until we connected there. Just going to add in a reroute there and divide it there. And here, for as we did for the speed, where we did a map range and we did not clamp, and we said when it is 0, it's going to be 0. And actually this is going to be in the 2 marks, whereby for 1 second this is what is going to be turned, and here in the value we're going to connect in the seconds for the scene time, and in the results here we're going to add in a combined XYZ and connect it into the rotation, and we can see a certain small movement happened here on top. And let's see what happens if I play. So it's actually moving in the same speed, but it's like opposite from this the original that the chains that were made before. So in order to change correct that, we only need to multiply this by -1 and connect it to the Z, and you can see now everything is aligning correctly. Well, let's say just mostly everything is aligning correctly, and you can see clearly here there's something, right? Something is actually happening throughout here. Let me just take these keyframes that were actually made here by the drawing tool to be deleted, and we can clearly see what's happening right now. The wheels are rotating and the chains are moving in the way that you would expect in machine parts too. We can now look at the structure control. We can click this empty, move it there, move it there. We can duplicate this to move it to any part that we want, and the chains will relatively remain the same size. Okay, see, this is what I was actually talking about, and this is the concept that I wanted to bring home to you guys, and I hope you found this tutorial series helpful and help you to build other cool stuff using geometry nodes, adding to the knowledge, sharing with one another. And if you found this very helpful, please consider liking, subscribing, for the YouTube algorithm to know that there is a channel like me out there. So thank you for watching all the tutorial series till here. Have a good one. See you on the next one.